I just have a would you rather? Would you rather be able to speak to animals, any animal, or 10 foreign languages? And the foreign languages are read, write, speak, fluent at to the top
The
levels.
animals talk back. I'm assuming.
No, you can only talk to them.
I can do that now.
Okay, then yeah, they talk back.
Hello and welcome to another episode of 7 Days Makes 1 Week. I'm Freddie P, back in the place to be. Behind the ones and twos, crossing the I's and dotting the T's is Mr. Producer Z, which again I still wish that was rhymed with Z, but whatever. Zach's here. Furthest to my left is Big D, Big Doinks Only, Dan Zaretsky, and in the middle of the two of us is Nolan Ryan, aka Mr. Video Producer, a.k.a. Mr. Make Your Beat, a.k.a. Mr. Take Your Picture, a.k.a. Mr. Shoot Your Music Video, even if it gets trashed online because it's a shitty song.
Oh. A.k.a. No Question Who.
A.k.a. No Question Who, the one that I actually should have said.
But yeah, you hit them all.
What's up, boys?
Appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem, man. That's actually one of the best intros I've probably had.
Hey.
I actually did that one decently well, even though I stuttered on your name. First off, Zach didn't know what Nolan and I were talking about. You know what I'm talking because I shared it with some of the Achraf Hakimi and his wife getting divorced. That soccer player. Did you read that meme?
No.
Okay, sick. So Achraf Hakimi is a Moroccan soccer player who plays for PSG.
Oh, what? His wife has to pay him money. I don't know why.
He makes $1 million a month annually, allegedly.
Okay.
His wife filed for divorce. When they went to court, her lawyers said to the court and to his lawyers that she's entitled to half of his money and half of his properties. Well, guess what? All of his jewelry registered in his mom's name. All of his properties registered in his mom's name. All of his cars registered in his mom's name. 80% of his wealth registered in his mom's name. He kept 20% of his earnings and registered everything else in his life to his mom.
Skirt.
So now his ex-wife's more than likely going to have to come up with money to him, according to the internet. City boys, we up. Toxic boys
I didn't
for
see
life.
that last part.
Let's go.
What does she do for
I think
work?
she's a model. I don't know, but I think she's a model.
But how is that?
I don't know, dog. I'm going off internet speculation.
Well,
I chose
what
it for. I
country are they getting
chose for
divorced
face
in?
value. Sorry.
What country are they getting divorced in?
Well, he's Moroccan, but he plays for PSG in Paris. So, I don't know.
I googled it and it said at the beginning of March he had a R-word accusation against him too.
He did have a sexual assault accusation against him, but, and I'm not trying to defend him. I have no idea if he did it or not. But of all of the athletes I've ever seen accused, he's like, let's go to court tomorrow. I'm 100% innocent. I have nothing to prove. Let's do this. I'm not worried about it.
There's people who said that too, and then they get found
Oh, yeah.
guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AKA Danny Alves, another soccer player. But yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo can't really go back to the States these days because he's got a accusation against him.
That's why I didn't know that. But he's still making waves.
Oh,
Everybody
fuck
still
yeah.
loves him.
Yeah.
So he really did a good media cover up on that one.
No, you
fuck
don't
yeah.
need the States.
When you're the
If in
most followed
soccer,
person on
Yeah,
States
Instagram.
doesn't matter.
States ain't
Like,
shit for
Yeah,
soccer.
you're the most followed person on Instagram.
Yeah.
Is he?
That's what at least man. If not,
I thought the most followed player was the cricket player from India.
No, I'm pretty sure it's either one of the Kardashians or him.
There's definitely a girl for sure. That's the number one.
No, I'd be surprised.
It's telling me Cristiano Ronaldo, but I'll try to find a list right now.
Because I remember him and Messi did that photoshopped ad where they were playing chess with each other. And that was the most liked photo on Instagram until Messi's photo of him lifting the World Cup. And then somewhere in the article, it said that Ronaldo is the most followed person on Instagram.
So technically, the Instagram account is the most followed
Yeah, it
one,
doesn't
which is fucking cheating. And then Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, Selena Gomez, Kylie Jenner, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Ariana Grande, Kim Kardashian, Beyonce, and Chloe. And then Bieber's at 11.
Yeah, dude. 1 and 2, Messi
So
and
just a
Ronaldo.
couple
Ronaldo
That's
athletes
crazy.
and then all entertainers. Well, I guess they're all entertainers in reality.
Yeah.
but-
Shows how goated soccer is.
And you're thinking of the cricketer guy, Virat Kohli.
Yeah, Kohli. Yeah.
He's got 246 million Instagram followers, and he's in India. But that's
Well, that's-
1/10 of the
Those
country.
that's
probably
probably they
like
probably
all
have different
India.
apps over there. Like usually in those countries they have different social media. Like if Instagram was as popular there as it is here, or people had access to those accounts as widely there as they have them here, I'm sure those would be the most followed people just because they're their
Just the
national fan base is
population.
over
Yeah.
1 billion people alone already.
Yeah, just the dense. Well, but that's the thing about soccer, like, because I'd always tell my brother that soccer is like a better sport than hockey, and he'd always like, and I was like, man, it's the most popular sport in the world. But like you said, no shit, you need something to kick. That's it. It's like it's the sport with the least amount of equipment necessary. You can make the net. You can make everything you need involved with it. All you need is something to. Even basketball, you need a hoop
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a ball.
and the ball.
Well,
But you just need something to throw. Like you and I could
Yeah.
play football with this vape right here if we really wanted to. It'd suck, but we could.
but then like the logistics of football, like the padding and all the other
That's the
bullshit,
thing.
and like
You're not really playing like me and you can play football. We're not going to be fucking laying each other
Yeah.
out.
we're playing like backyard kind of, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
know
there's lots of
straight up.
sports like that only require one thing, right? Like you just rugby, you just require
I guess rugby.
something to toss.
I
You can
guess
have a
rugby,
fucking-
yeah.
a 2-liter bottle and throw it. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah, I just think that's why soccer's so popular because you can be rich, you can be poor, you could be
Yeah.
Yeah.
fat. You'll probably just get put in net. They always put the big guy in net. That's the funniest.
That's
meme.
why I was always in net as a kid.
You were in net as well. You're lanky. I'd actually
Yeah, you got
probably
the
put
arms.
you in net.
No,
yeah.
I didn't. I was pretty short till I hit like grade 11, and then I was like. So when I
Really?
was younger, I was short and fat. It was pretty good.
I don't even ever really. I mean, I'm only 5'10", but I don't even ever really remember having like a growth spurt. I think I just like grew gradually.
so I wonder if any of that, like, the soccer popularity has to do with colonialism, right? With like, you know, these European nations conquering the world, because like they were still in charge of it at the beginning of the 1900s, and
For
soccer clubs have
sure.
been around for them
Sure,
like
it has.
for over
Yeah.
100 years now. So
Barcelona was founded. The soccer club of Barcelona was founded in 1899, and
Yeah.
I know that's not the first soccer team in existence.
well, he's like, well, that's a team being founded, right? Like I'm sure that, you know, however many decades or centuries was that game played when it was an unofficial version of it, right? Like so I'm
Google
sure-
this real quick, and I'm not even 100% sure if I'm right. Type in first soccer match, Cardiff, Sheffield. Cardiff and then Sheffield.
out of the EPL.
I think I just remember hearing on a podcast that the first registered soccer game happened between these two teams. Just make your old dick and give him Jeopardy music.
Right?
It's
Put the
it's
pressure
just because Bing is a little bit slow today.
Yeah, sponsored by Bing.
on. Yeah. I've
26
never used Bing.
He uses it all the time.
Oh, that's
No, it's
crazy.
because my computer got a virus and I just haven't. Like
Oh,
it's
okay.
stuck in. You got to basically do a safe restart and do all this bullshit, and I'm too lazy to do that. So Bing it is. We'll
Fair
get Bing
enough.
Like,
t-shirts
who
next
owns
week.
Bing these days?
Microsoft.
Nobody
still-
knows. That's the cool. No, it's Microsoft.
Do they still? I thought they were a bit of a ban on that.
Apparently,
a
the
long time
first
ago.
soccer match was 160 years ago. Sheffield FC versus Hallam FC.
Say 160
Yeah.
years ago.
Oh, that's the thing. Sheffield and Cardiff are two teams that beef over which one actually had the first game. Because the other team is like, I said I had a game on a Wednesday, and you said you had a game on a Tuesday. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. No. I was first, and blah, 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 blah. That's
Typical.
what it was.
Anything.
So
in
160
soccer.
years
they love
ago.
to beef.
December 26th.
Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Damn.
Trippy.
I feel like they make the most effort with like soccer though to like make it globally. You look at
Well, I
other
think that's
sports and
kind of
like
what Dan's saying, is
yeah.
that like colonialism did that. Like it spread it.
Because like I mean, obviously, if your hometown soccer team is, you know, playing and you're shipped off to go be a soldier somewhere in the colonies for a year or two or a decade or something like that, I'm sure you still get some information from back home. I mean, they brought
Yeah, true.
newspapers from London over to their different colonial sections. I know they're old by the time they get there, but you can still read the
Yeah.
results and stuff like that, right? So, you know, that's definitely
Other sports are attempting to catch up. Like basketball is doing a really good job. Even the NFL has games overseas and whatnot. I know they have
Yeah.
games in Europe and London and shit like that.
but they're playing like they never catch up on that century that
No.
soccer is ahead. You know?
Soccer's
Yeah,
just already
exactly.
exploded, yeah.
So we know
Huge
soccer is the
time
most
difference.
popular global sport. What is the second most popular global
Cricket?
sport? Yes.
wow, that's
And the
wild.
third
Ooh.
Third, I'm
is
going
going
to
to surprise. No, it's going to surprise. Well, according
Rugby?
to this list, no.
Tennis.
It's a little more white than that.
Golf?
No.
Tennis. Tennis would
You're missing the one that tennis is fourth,
Yeah, so
but what's third? And it's the whitest sport in all time.
That one where you ride? No, that's not popular.
you mean polo?
Polo.
No, you guys are missing hockey.
Hockey's not the third most popular.
2 billion
sport.
fans, according to this list.
Who? Where?
Cricket has 2.5 billion, and soccer has 3.5 billion.
But where's these hockey fans coming from? It's such a slim portion of the world
Yeah.
that is populated.
I'm just looking at this list that
where
says-
they can naturally play hockey
like
6 months out of the
Canada,
year.
the States, Russia, and like that small port of
And
Europe.
Scandinavia.
Yeah, Scandinavia.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what you described. Yeah.
Yeah,
Czech
that's it.
Republic and stuff too.
I don't think
yeah.
the Penguins in Antarctica are fucking playing hockey.
I mean,
Yeah,
this is an official list. By
That's what
any
they do at
means.
nighttime.
It's not an official list. I just did a quick count
Strap
on
up the
Instagram.
skates.
No, I,
Play a little popsicle stick, you know.
basketball's only got 800 million, and table tennis has more than basketball.
I was gonna say table tennis is up there. Some
850
Asians go
million.
crazy for that.
But I don't understand how they would find out, because it's going by how many fans. So I don't understand how they would get their sample sizes and poll people, like just
Must just be like World Cup viewers and
so,
championship
they're
viewers.
probably
Yeah.
doing
Yeah,
taking
based on, like,
metadata
viewership.
and just
yeah.
But yeah, so that's according to this list.
Because I'm sure each nation has like a media, like, association or something like that counts how many people in their country was watching these sports, and then you just add up all the different national counts, right? Like,
The averages and shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
average it all out. Anyway, Nolan Ryan's here this week. He's our guest.
Yeah.
He is a musician / videographer / music producer / photographer.
very creative individual.
I
Yeah.
think that's about it, right? I didn't leave anything out.
No. That's
So,
not-
give us your story. Give us the intro, Nolan.
The intro. Pretty much the way I look at it is like, especially with this industry nowadays, is you need to know every aspect of it and be involved in it all at some level. My thing was like starting off, I'm like, I started with guitar, self-taught drums, self-taught piano, and then I'm like, I want to start writing music, recording music, but I'm not confident in it. So I'm going to figure out how to mix it all, make, 100 tracks and just delete them all that nobody will ever hear. And then eventually get to the point that I want to be at. So then through that journey, I'm like, okay, let's go to school. Let's try this out. And then everything kind of shifted to like YouTube tutorials, and all those people have home studios. So it's like, I hit a roadblock, like trying to like make an income and do it full time. So I'm like, I need to get into this video world. Well, I was going to actually do my own. I was like, going to get videos for my own music done. And I'm like, why don't I just buy a camera and dive into that? So then I went into that and then realized like this is actually sustainable, because like, sure, you can buy a camera, but you can't really film yourself. Like, I got you to come out and film, you know what I
me to
mean?
fucking point the camera at
It's
him.
like, I got a couple homies to come out and film, and it's just like,
We did what we could, but it's not as good as what you're gonna do.
and it still look fire. And that's the thing that I learned too, is just like, I was like, okay, I can just set the settings, give you all the camera, and be like, handle it.
Ours, the one that I did with you, is everything is all right, and then we just lucked out on that tennis court with like the sickest sunset, so
Right?
it looks so sick.
I was sitting there, I'm like, I just knew it. We're just sitting there raining, and I'm like, it's gonna happen. I did everything this week I needed to do, and then all of a sudden, the sky just turned pink, and I'm like, boom.
Yeah,
It's too
record.
fire.
I was like, I got you, bro.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Film like 3 or 4 in a row. That was
Right?
sick.
Because I hit up a couple. There's like the blue quill one that's all like the court's all blue and shit. The basketball court. I was like, that'd be so sick. And then there was like all this bullshit I had to go through. I was like, okay, so I hit up like a couple other ones, and this one dude with the Capilano one, right by my crib, is just like, come through. I don't care, whatever. So bet.
Right on. So
Oh,
sorry,
wow.
I jumped into your story. So you started doing your own music videos, and then did other people like get in, like approach you, or did you just kind of be like, I could do this and start reaching out to people?
So I was just like clicked up with a bunch of people that I record and like work with and stuff in the scene. So I just shoot videos for them here and there for like, $350, just like peanuts, and then kind of build with those guys, and figured as I get better, I could scale it with them. But a lot of those artists were very like, oh, now you've hit the $500 video. Okay, I'm gone. And then come back around every couple of months or so and say, hey, what's going on? I'm like, okay, well, the price is now like $1,500. And then that's the end of that conversation. But yeah, so it's like, it just kind of like through the people I knew through the community, just kind of scaled it up and worked through there to get myself where I'm at now. And then now it's, spent last year doing weddings and shit. And there's some hit and misses with that, some lessons to be learned. But, we're here now. And this year's like full music, getting in these grants, networking. Went to Montreal recently. So doing that shit. Got a Toronto thing planned up. So just trying to keep expanding the network, and just like I want to diversify a bit out, because a lot of the videos is like hip hop, R&B, and you have one artist coming through trying to pay this fee, like my fee, and then the fee of like the location and the models and the cars and all the accessories, and it's like now they're like, well, I can't afford this, let's scale it back. So now the video is like missing the target, except for like some artists I work with, they actually put it down. Like Gio, he puts it down every time, bro. Like, doesn't matter the budget, he's like, let's do it. I want it to be exactly how I envisioned it.
Yeah.
So, but that's the thing with those artists. It's like you have that one person funding it, so it's tough. So now I want to expand it to like rock bands or like country bands or whatever, where it's like 4 or 5 people all pitching in money. Diversify in that way, and then maybe I don't like the music, but
Well, it doesn't matter, right? It's a creative vision, right? And like you're
Yeah.
working with the artist to meet their creative vision with what you're able to do, right? Like so.
exactly.
How does it work with like the grants and stuff like that? Is there a lot of like support for small artists and stuff like that, or is it more like grants for videography and that kind of stuff, or is it actually for the music aspect of things?
So it's like there's so many like little pieces of it that I don't want to like blackball myself in a sense, but like the grants are like now they've really opened up where they're like as it's artists, it's like do you do makeup, do you do dance, do you do painting, whatever. So anyone can get it. Are you a videographer? Are you an artist, like a actual performer? Or do you play instruments, whatever? So that's open diversity, but they've shifted a lot to like just speaking with some people that I've recently reconnected with that I'm working with now. I don't want to name drop or anything, but
Fuck, man, that's what we're here for. Do what you gotta do.
yeah, but I don't want to blackball them as the kind of
Oh
thing.
yeah, no. Don't say anything bad, but say every name that you
Well,
want to say for good reasons.
Like in the day and age of now, this can be perceived as bad, but like the statistics are broken down. Like 80% of these grants go to like people of like ethnicity or like LGBTQ, all that kind of stuff. So it's like that's kind of like it's super frustrating in that sense because everyone should be valid to grant. Like I don't care who you are, and I understand like the diversity and like getting them money.
But
But then there's also a limit to is like, say for myself, I can only get a maximum of like 30 grand through these certain revenues. They can get a maximum, I think 70 grand. So it's kind of like, what the fuck?
just so you know, I'm a flaming homosexual. Zach's actually transgender, and
Right?
Dan is multiple ethnic minorities. By the time we file for grants,
Yeah. We support, we're all about it, we repping it, At the end of the day, I look at it as long as you're happy. That's all that matters.
yeah, no, it's just,
You know?
if you can get more money, I'm whatever you need me to be, right?
Right? So that's the kind of tough thing is it's like it's very like it's open to everyone, but then it's like segregated and then
The people that end up getting the grants are people who have faced more adversity and have overcome more.
in the
More
media, but like
adversity.
who's to say that this person didn't
100%,
have no
man.
mom or dad or whatever?
Man, you could be a straight white male and have had the toughest life growing up and whatever, right?
Well, I'm
And,
sure
like,
you guys have both seen that
Yeah.
video of that summer camp or whatever, where they get everyone to take step. It's a 100-foot race.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And,
yeah.
if you have both, it's a 100-foot race, and they put all the kids there, and then they say if you have both parents at home, take 5 steps forward. If your parents had good jobs, take 5 steps forward, and then it's like, okay, this is the race of life. But understand, you didn't start where that person started, and they all turn around. And there's some people fucking 30, 40, 50 feet behind them. And it's like, yeah, all right, we didn't start at the race is the same. We all got to get to the same finish line. But I didn't start where that guy started. I need to appreciate that I didn't start where that guy started. So just help. Like, you've seen a lot of people in the front be like, oh, shit. Like, it was a good way to teach youth. Like, it's not their fault. It's not your fault. It's no one's fault. But, like, they have more to overcome, and you should be appreciative of.
Those are the realities of life, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's,
exactly.
Nothing's even. Everyone's an individual. Nobody has the same journey, and it's just you can go through the same journey with someone alongside them, and you can experience the whole different version of what's happening, right? Like each individual lives their own truth, and each individual
Exactly.
depicts or like interprets stuff differently, right? So like you can literally be growing up as twins and end up completely different, going the same fucking journey, which is super weird. But
Okay.
so
Even then, like,
That's the thing.
I won't, like, I have one friend who kind of always gave me shit for the privilege that I do have in life. Then he tried to give one of our other friends who is very much more privileged than I am some shit. And he used to fucking give me anxiety and stress me out and shit. I'd feel like survivor's guilt almost, even though I didn't survive anything. And then my buddy just literally turned to him the one day and said, yeah, man, sometimes it is good to be me. And then the buddy, like, he's like, but you know what? Sometimes it sucks to be me too. And it fucking sweated right off, water right off that guy's back. And I was like, damn, I need to be more like him, man. Like, yeah, sometimes shit is good to be Fred Kaepernick, but some days it fucking sucks to be Fred Kaepernick. Like, it is what it is. Maybe I have better good days than bad days than some people, but it is what it is.
So who is supplying the funds for these grants? Is this like a government grant? Is this like private donors, or is this associations, or who's coming up with these type of grants?
So there's like a lot of like non-profit backed by the government. So
Okay.
like it's very, a lot of it is government based. There is like individuals that aren't government based, but everything comes from a funding and they all get a source from somewhere. So it's like
Yeah.
it all trickles down. So then that's why that whole agenda is like followed by that narrative. So
Yeah,
it's like
'cause, yeah,
they all kind of fall on that. But at the same time, like there is ones that are awesome. Like I've got a couple already, and they're just like it's face value. It's like, what have you done? What are you doing? And how are you going to accomplish that? This makes sense. This sounds good. You seem legit. Here's your money.
Yeah, it's based on your work and the effort you put in, right? Like
Exactly.
It's not about like, oh, like this is where I'm coming from and now I'm doing this. It's like no, this is what I've done. No matter where you start the race, right? It's just like they
Yeah.
actually assess your work, which is good. I'm glad there's still a couple out there like that, because even trying to get like a scholarship for school, right? I know people who are going through it now who are having troubles getting grants and scholarships because they didn't face enough adversity, So it's like
Yeah, and it's like, what the fuck, you know?
So I'm happy to
what
see
they
there's
used
still
to
a couple
call that.
ones that
You
are
didn't have
attainable.
enough life experiences. Like just
Yeah,
every
yeah.
college coming of age movie, it's like, oh no, I have to do this so I get life experience for my college application. It's like, man, fuck all the way off.
American Pie. I have to do some wild shit with Stifler to get this clout.
And then it's always like the wildest thing. Like, of course, it's a movie, but it's like, yeah, man, I threw this crazy party and I was on ecstasy and it was like the fucking craziest night of my life. I got shot at and lost my virginity, and the dean's like, fucking welcome to Harvard, bud. No problem, dude. You didn't just show an immense lack of respect, but fuck it.
Right?
You're in. I love that shit. So what do you got working on right now?
So right now, the last week, I've just been cutting up beats. Some that I started last year, some that I started recently. I'm doing the 2022 highlight reel for all my video production. So I have like different packages I'm going to roll out. So I want to do like, take all the ones that are like a narrative, like a quick run and gun, and like a full production, and then take all the beats that I produce, put them underneath it, and then like kind of fix the page, like my Instagram page. No Question New Productions, NQWP. Follow that, definitely. A little plug, and then there's like
to get a patent.
and there's like a feature you can like add to it now. These like tools where you can like put book now. And I seen this one guy in the States, and you click book now, and it shows all his packages, and you can like see the pricing, what you get. You can click into it and then like pick your dates and set up like a call. So I want to kind of streamline that process versus like me sitting there on like messages being like, "Okay, what do you want? Okay, what is this? Okay, this is what my price is going to be," and then the conversation ends. So it's like, reclaim some of that time. Because that was like the big thing going into 2023. I was just like, you know what? I'm no longer going to explain why my worth is what my worth is. And if someone sits there and is like, this is what your worth is, I'm like, all right, bet. But our conversation's over.
Yeah, that's good. That's the way to set the prices, right? That way, like you said, you're not wasting time talking to people who definitely cannot afford your services.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Or like maybe they can afford it, but they don't like validate in their mind that it's like worth that.
Yeah, but that's their loss, right? That's their inability to properly assess the quality of the product that they're seeing in front of them, right? So.
Exactly. Like this
Some
one
of them probably don't really believe in themselves that much, right? They
That's
don't
the thing,
believe in
there's one-
themselves 1,500 worth or whatever X amount worth.
And that's like this one homie was saying. He's just like, if you're out here and but like all these are limitations. It's funny because like he kind of like fell into this category, but it's like if you like all your limitations are like, oh, this and that, he's like, then this is the dream for you. Like this isn't actually what you're gonna do. Like this is a hobby for you. So like then you need to
There's
move.
nothing wrong with that either.
100%. But like move accordingly to that. Like don't be like, oh, I'm the next best rapper, or the next best artist, but then like, oh, I only have $200 for video and I have $50 for budget for marketing. It's like, okay, well, first of all, marketing should always be the same as the video.
But the guy's got 3 bottles of liquor,
Right?
couple
At the
ounces of
club and
weed,
shit,
you
like
know?
chains and shit, probably fake, but like, hey, it's like, you got kind of reality at some point. But I mean, hey, live your life and do what you want. It's your decision. But like, at the same time, it's like, that makes a lot of sense to me what he said. It's like, that is a dream. Like, it's a dream. It'll never happen,
Yeah, you gotta set it as a goal, not as a dream. That's the
Right?
difference,
Yeah,
right?
steps
Yeah.
and goals and
Yeah, exactly.
gauge that shit.
know?
Yeah.
And like-
Reality versus fiction, right?
right? And like you were saying, like, just to piggyback off that one thing, was like this, the classic one is like, they'll hit me up and be like, hey, like, this is what I want, and I was like, boom. And they're like, I love your work. That's how they started. I was like, okay, bless. And that's where we're chatting. And then it's like, boom, as soon as the money gets dropped, it's like, okay, so can you send me like a bunch of your videos? I'm just like, bro.
You just said you love my work. What do you mean? Like,
Like, you just saw that I do videos and you're like, okay, I'm gonna finesse this guy. Like, come on.
yeah.
That's
are
wild, man.
Right?
And it's all publicly available. It's all on your page. It's all online, right? It's like,
Right?
at least do your research, you know? Like,
That's so funny.
that just shows
dude.
you how they're not dedicated, and it's not their artistic dream because they're not putting enough research in to make sure that their video is going to be what they want it to be, right? Like,
And people always just lie where they're like, I listened to the Steve O podcast, and his like manager is this dude he met in rehab, and then like he was telling this story, and he was like, man, the funniest thing is people like see us after a show, and they'll be like, man, I love you, I follow all your shit, I listen to your podcast, do you want to get a drink? And Steve was like, yo, I've been sober for 15 years, like what the fuck are you talking about? You follow all of my shit,
Right?
like I haven't had any drinks in 15 years. It's like the same shit, like I love your videos. Wait, can you let me see your videos? Like, wait,
Yeah.
what? Like,
yeah.
Straight up.
Pardon?
Bro. Like clearly you don't follow shit.
right?
Yeah. Or you can pull up their socials and they don't even follow you.
They
or
don't
nothing
follow
like that.
you.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
People are
So
wild.
So other than that, just like getting that's like kind of the goal right now. And then back to the music side of things, like the album I started in 2019, all self-produced, written and recorded. I put it on the shelf last year just to like really focus on video. And then it was kind of back and forth with the whole COVID and all that bullshit. But so I just want to get that out, get that over with, kind of clear my mind, clear my space from that. And I feel like now I'm in the point where I've gone through enough like trials and tribulations and like understood more, like I'm more informed on how to like get what I want out of the music. I mean, obviously it'll never be at the level that you truly want it to be. You'll always be aspiring every time you hear it, like a couple of days later, you're like, okay, this could be better or whatever. But just coming to terms with like, okay, this is good as it should be. It's done with. Let's get it out. Let's let it be what it is. Let's move on from it. And just like the big thing is like, I hear the songs 100 times. Some people never heard it. So the first 20 times I heard it, I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
So let them have that experience, right?
Well, and if you're always trying to level up, you can't. If you put out the perfect project as your first project, where are you gonna go from there, right? Like that's why you gotta release. You gotta see that. It's better to see an artist's progression. It's much more natural, I guess, and like,
Yeah, like
I feel like
believable
I
and
connect
stuff.
more with an artist when I see them come up from being, just a kid on down the street rapping to like multi-platinum selling artist or something like that, right? Like,
You feel more connected.
yeah,
like
exactly.
that.
You can
Yeah.
relate to them much more, right? Just like,
And you always like your props when you put them on to your homie, and then your homie's like, yeah, and then like 6 months later, homie's like, yo, you ever hear of this guy? And you're like, yeah,
Right?
told
And
you
there's
about that guy 6 months ago. What the fuck?
The classic, it's like, yo, this is fire. He's like Shazamming it. Like,
So out of all the different lanes, which one would you say you're like the most passionate about?
It always come down to music, honestly, because that's kind of what fueled it all, started this all. But there is a part of me that does, like, I do want to shoot like a feature film,
Damn.
be in all that shit. So it's pretty much like the music. Like I want to go on. Like, obviously, tour life is like hectic, but I want to do that experience. That not even experience, just that being that. Like give that back to the the crowd and like just like this. Din sent me this thing where it's like the dude just like sitting there. It's like when he realized he made it. And the crowd's like singing word for word, just like being in that moment, It's like
I saw that. I don't remember who the artist was, but he just like,
Mhm.
and then they were, I did see that. That would be sick thing to do. Very few people ever get to experience that in their
Right.
lives for sure.
And it just seemed like the fruits of your labor, like in front of you, like people fucked with it as much as you fucked with it, and like you knew. It's like there's like a slight amount of like insanity you have to have like in this career in this creative field.
Multiple careers, dude.
Right?
If you legitimately make it as a professional athlete, as a musician, as a
straight.
YouTuber, as a fucking podcaster, there was part of your brain that you definitely understood the odds were 99.9% against you, and you were like, nah, I got this. And to do that, you have to be a little bit off your rocker. Like there's some sort of like that amount of self-belief, that's different, dude.
Yeah.
That's different.
Like I was listening to that the Russ audiobook. I can't remember what it's called, but like he literally says that he's like there's an amount of insanity. He's like I had my Twitter handle as the best producer in the world. This is back when he's working like Boogs or whatever and like just producing beats. And then he's like, I'm the greatest artist. And he's like, my beats were shit. My music was so subpar, but like I just told myself and convinced myself, and eventually now I'm in this position,
Yeah, and he worked like I don't even like Russ's music, but I fucking give that guy so much props for two things. One, he always like, who was it? I think it was like when Juice WRLD died or something, and everyone was like, "Oh, R.I.P., R.I.P.," and he was like, "Yo, fuck all of you people, man. Like, I've been telling people in rap music to get off drugs for years, and everyone made fun of me for it, but now all these artists are dying, you guys all feel bad? Like, go fuck yourselves, man.
Yeah.
Like, where were all of you telling him not to do drugs?
Right.
None of you, ever. Half you guys were fueling him to do the drugs. It's like Mac Miller. You could say that for so many different people. So I respect him for that, because apparently he even got into a fight at, like, a music festival with, like, Ski Mask the Slump God or some shit, and, like, 8 dudes ran up on him backstage, and apparently Russ, being like a 5'6" white dude, held it down. And I remember hearing another rapper talking about it, and that guy was like, yeah, I got mad props for that dude. He's like, I know some gangster rappers that would not have held their ground like he did. So I give him props for that, for like staying true to what he believes in. Also, his business model, he didn't he release a song every week for like 4 years in a row before one of them blew up, or 2 years in a row before one of them blew up?
Yeah, so he was releasing these albums, and he realized like people are only listening to the first song and then gauge the album based off that. So he's like, why don't I just release singles? And I would say, I can't like say for sure, but definitively, but like I think he's the one that kind of started this whole single movement, because he would drop like a song a week or a song a month. I think it was a song a week, to be honest.
I'm pretty sure it was a song a week, and he did it for like 2 years or something until one blew up. And then it was the thing like, yo, I have so much stuff out you guys can go listen to. There's 104 singles that you can just... I thought that was cool as fuck.
And just he was like feeding his family and everything off that catalog.
And now when he performs live, he's the only guy on stage. He doesn't even have a DJ with him. I think TJ told me this, because like a lot of people even think he's a dickhead about it. He's the only person on stage. He won't have anyone on stage, and he's like, why? I made the beat. I did my marketing. I'm the fucking... Why? Why would I
really gotta have a
anybody else
DJ
on
at least,
stage?
though. DJ puts up some...
Maybe, but they might just be...
But no hype man or something.
Maybe they might just be off stage right. You know what I
True,
mean?
yeah.
I don't know. It was something like that TJ told me, where a lot of people think it's like his ego, but he was like, fuck it, man. I did it all by myself. Why do I need more people now?
You gotta have that little bit of that yay mentality where you're like,
right?
I'm the shit. Like, yeah, like, why not, right? Like,
Fuck
people
it.
are here to see me. Like,
yeah, true enough.
Dude, Ed Sheeran does it. Why can't Russ do it? Ed Sheeran, apparently, I haven't seen Ed Sheeran live, but I heard about this on the Brilliant Idiots. Apparently, he was the first musical person, single person to gross $1 billion, Billy with a B, off touring, because he did like 3 world tours because of his albums. He only puts out an album every like 2 years. And when he performs live, for his music, he played the drums, he played the guitar, he played the bass, he did the backup vocals. So apparently on stage, he literally will walk over to a guitar, pick it up, and be like, this is how I did The Shape of You. Bam, 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 bam,
Yeah, it has like a looper pedal.
and then he loops it. Then he goes over to the drums, loops it, builds the song in front of you, then performs it.
yeah. Well, and that's
wild.
the music genre I really like. Those people that like the loopers and stuff like that, the Reggie Watts of the world and stuff like that. That's like really cool. Especially you could do something like that one day for a live performance, because you play multiple instruments and you make the beat and you write the music, and it's just really, that's really flexing on somebody. That's like the ultimate level. It's like, I can do this all. Fuck everybody else. I don't need nobody.
Right.
So,
and like little cheat codes to that too is I'll see like the dudes that like bust out the drum machines, and like I mean obviously it's all like pre-programmed up, so then you just like your kick sounds all there, so you just like hit the kick, hit the snare, hit the sample, boom, 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 and it just feels like, oh, you just created it organically. But it's like, and in a certain sense, you have to kind of like pre-prep. You can't just be sitting there like listening to drum sounds.
it's a performance. Well, yeah, it's different when
Yeah.
you're performing versus when you're in the studio trying to make a beat.
Yeah,
when you're in the
cooking it
studio,
up, yeah.
fucking around with the drum machine, you're doing all kinds of different shit, 10,000 times over, and trying to find out the right pattern that you want to do it, or adjusting the hi-hat. It's like, I'm going to wait one more, fucking count and put it here, and then adjust this and do that.
Right.
So, but yeah, for the performance, it's more just like loops, right? You just, okay, I'm going to play this loop, play this loop, play this loop, and there's the song.
Right. And that's dope too, because you see like you said, it's that more immersive thing, because like a lot of people think like going on stage is just like, I guess you could say for rappers in a sense, it's just like spitting your lyrics and just boom, 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 you're off. Yeah. And it's like, no, you got to be there and interact with the crowd and be like, how y'all feeling tonight?
That'd be the most boring performance ever.
Yeah, people just want to relate to you.
But that's like everyone does that shit.
Especially nowadays with social media, so much gets posted. So many people feel like if you meet a celebrity, you're like, oh, that's my friend. I know this person. I know what they do every day. I know what they like. Even though you have no fucking clue who this person is, and it's really weird for those people. Those famous people are like, yeah, these people just relate to me, even though they have have never met me.
That has happened even more with podcasters, because they're like, dude, we meet these people and we don't understand that, like, they've literally been a silent person in a conversation with us and our friends for 600 hours or 300. Like, this person literally feels like they're in our friend circle. So when they meet us, they're like, yo, man, remember that thing with the ravioli can? You're like, wait, who the fuck are you? Like, what's your name? Sorry?
But,
Right?
but that's the thing that you know, people love that. Like, the audience loves connecting with an artist like that. So, like, when you're in the audience and they're making the beat live in front of you, that's just another way of you connecting.
You feel like
with
you were in
them
the
and really,
studio.
exactly, really being part of the whole process. And, like, I mean, it creates some psycho stalkers, but you know.
Dude, I've never seen Ed Sheeran live. I like a little bit of his like collab albums, the ones where he like rap. I didn't even know he was a rapper, but apparently he like raps.
Holding it down in the UK.
Yeah, like I saw him on the Breakfast Club, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I just did this latest collab album because like I keep telling people I rap, and they're like, no, you don't, man. You're Ed Sheeran." He's like, no, man. Like I can actually fucking rap. Like I'm just really good at this other shit. He's like, I'm not a good rapper, but like I could do it. So I listened, and some of it's not bad, but. If Ed Sheeran comes back to Edmonton, I'll try to buy a ticket because I think that'd be pretty fucking cool to see live.
Yeah, it'd be a good experience for sure. That's the thing. Is just like once again, like it's a business. Like he's selling you a product. Like he's selling you the music, and everyone's like, okay, we have the music, da da da. But like the live show is such like you're buying it. Like you know, you're spending $100 to $200. Depends what Ticketmaster's gonna finesse you.
Yeah,
you know,
more than that.
Geez,
that Taylor Swift, it was like $3K or something.
Yeah.
I tried buying a ticket for a boogie, and it was like $60 fucking fee. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
Ticket's
Where is he performing?
$100.
Shaw?
Yeah. Or yeah, Shaw, I think
Shaw,
so.
wow.
Yeah, the
For
ticket's
a
$100.
boogie in
Their
a
fee was
hoodie.
like 60. I'm like, bro,
That's ridiculous.
you guys are
Well,
wild.
and then nowadays there's all these
Yeah.
bots that buy all the tickets, and then you have to
Right?
buy it off a scalper. So there's an extra 300% markup right there. And
You
you're like,
know?
what the fuck?
I feel like these like different apps, like not Game Time, but like those kind of ones, StubHub and shit. They have those bots buy all the tickets because then they can like get their fee out of it, right? So they double dip.
100%. And like,
It's like, bro,
I mean, there's artists that do that too. There's artists that have 1,000 tickets a show or 10,000 tickets a show, depending on how big the venue is, that they can sell on their own, where they make all the profit off of it, and they sell it as like they scalp essentially. They're like they pretend those don't exist, and then they sell them through scalper ways for way more money than they originally would have sold them for. I know there's artists that have admitted this on podcasts and stuff like that, like rock artists and stuff like that, which is ridiculous. It's like, why the fuck are you scalping your own fans even more? It's like, bro, you really.
Dude, I was listening.
That's wild,
This
you
is
know?
yet again. I don't know if this is true or not, but this is information from a podcast. Apparently, if Jay-Z performs at your stadium, he gets like 140% of the door. And then the other host started laughing. He was like, no. That means he gets all of the ticket sales, the parking sales, the concession sales. The only thing it wasn't concession. The only thing he leaves you to make money on is the food and drink. Everything else goes to Jay-Z, allegedly.
damn.
But that's where a lot of the money is for those stadiums. I mean,
Yeah,
true
just
enough.
watch how. I would love to see how much income like those people make off concessions during like an average Oilers game alone.
Oh yeah, like
dude.
cake,
Like,
cake and
bro.
Ridiculous.
You telling me like for a slice of pizza and a pop, not even a beer, is like $20.
Dude, and it's a Pizza 73 slice of pizza.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not even act like it's like some big
Come
fat
on.
slice of pizza. It's Pizza 73 pizza.
You know?
Well, it's people each person that walks up there is dropping $100 if they want a couple
Damn
beers
near.
for their
Yeah,
friends
you go with
and
your
whatever.
family and shit, it's over.
It's like, what? You just, if there's a line of 20 people in front of you, you just watch them make $2 or $3 grand right in front of you,
You
just by
know?
standing there for 2 minutes. It's
like damn, bro, just for like a
and
little
they have a million
intermission
concession
bite.
stands, and they all have a line always. Like, they're never not busy. It's like, man,
Right?
Yeah, plus the
How?
random bars, plus the random beer.
You got little
guys.
little shop bars, like little
Plus
sponsorship.
everything.
it's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
The Oilers store, the actual
Yeah.
restaurant in there, the actual bar in there, the casino.
Bro, the biggest finesse was during the playoffs. I went to a game and they were selling these like foam Oilers things with some like bullshit Mardi Gras beads.
Or like the big like fake chain, right?
Yeah,
They look
and it
like a
was
big
like
chain.
$40.
Damn.
I'm like, damn, y'all got that for 10 cents.
Yeah,
Maybe
Alibaba
$1.
Express,
Yeah.
10 cents.
Yeah.
Mass
And, like-
produced from China.
You know, and you see like
100%.
all the kids, right? It's so smart because you bring your family and shit, and it's like, oh, I want that, and then you probably hand a couple out.
They used to give us
You
the
know?
foam finger back in the day. We've always
Yeah, see, they hand a couple out, and you're like, shit, I want that.
right?
And just like, yo, $40, dog.
But it's just gotten out of hand. Like when you compare that to like
Yeah,
the
foam
90s,
fingers were probably $10.
Yeah.
man, like when
Literally.
corporations, bands, and associations were not fucking people over this hard in the 90s. Like
Yeah.
there's an actual sense of humanity. It's like, okay, it's okay to make profit and make some good money, but like We want our fans to be able to afford to come back next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Nowadays, it's like, let's suck them all dry for everything they have now.
Exactly. You
'Cause
get
we don't know
one
what
game a
tomorrow
year.
brings. It's like, what the fuck?
I saw an interview with Wiz Khalifa, and this interview is probably 10 years old or some shit like that. So that does have to be accounted for. But he said that he would never price his tickets as more than $40 because he wanted college kids to be able to go to him. And you guys both know my buddy who's a promoter, but I asked my buddy who's a promoter who I just said that to him the other day at the Freddie Gibbs concert, and he kind of like, I saw him like think about it and kind of, you know, like, and he was like, yeah, I don't know about all that. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was just like, anyone bringing him would just be agreeing to lose money. Like, you'd have to, like, there's no room that would be big enough that you could open the room and have everybody come, pay all of your staff and blah, blah, blah. He's like, the food, like, he's like, if it was a bar, you'd have to be charging, like, ridiculous amounts for drinks. He's like, there's just no, unless he wants to come and do a concert for $20,000, which isn't going to happen. Like, he's like, there's no way that could happen.
Well, yeah, but like you said, that's a really old
That was like
interview. But like even Nirvana has said stuff like when you watch Nirvana interviews, they've said something along the similar lines where it's like, yeah, we're only charged, it was like $17 for a ticket at the time, you know, so that people can come and watch it. And they were like scoffing at somebody who was charging $60 a ticket or something. It's like, how the fuck's that affordable, right? But it makes sense. It's like if you cannot fill a stadium at $40, of course it's better to fill the fucking whole arena at 17 than like just for bringing people in, creating future fans, having him to do merch sales and whatever else, right? Like, you know, it makes sense. But I mean, nowadays we're living in this clout and hype society where it doesn't matter if the fucking ticket's $800. We're somehow gonna starve for the month and buy that ticket just so we can see, yo, we saw Kanye live, we saw him floating on the floating platform, you know? It's like, people don't care. Like, it doesn't matter. Just like, people will find ways to buy a fucking Versace pair of sunglasses and have a Louis bag or something like that, and they're starving. Their car doesn't fucking work. They're walking everywhere. It's
as
like,
I wear my fake Bape shorts.
Right, we were talking about that on the way in.
Off Amazon.
It's that fear of missing out, I think, is what it is. Like,
FOMO, which only exists because of social media like that.
Exactly.
Like, you wouldn't know what you're missing, like, unless we were constantly bombarded with it. And it's not just like it's a story, like it's a hearsay. It's a video. It's live video. You know, Snapchat. You're seeing shit on point. Where like, man, I really wish I was there right now. And like that's.
I wish I had my own video to post.
Yeah,
like,
that's.
Could you imagine being like a older teenager, young adult in this shit? Like when we were younger, like you had your group of friends, and you know someone might have got something sick, and you're like, oh man, that's dope. But now you open Instagram and a 16-year-old has a fucking Rolex, and you're like, wait, what? Like,
you know?
What the fuck?
And
as soon as you turn 18, you're
that kid.
stoked. You got like a $2,000 Honda Accord.
Yeah.
All your buddies are stoked for it. You open Instagram, fucking Jaden Smith's rolling around in a McLaren. You're like, you just like can't feel happy about yourself, man. Like, yeah, social media is a bitch,
that's the thing. It's not even just like you said, Jaden Smith. Even your regular ass kids, man. There's these kids like that are come from affluent families, or they have a half decent job out of high school, and they're going to lease a brand new AMG because for the Instaflex, and it's like, man, these guys are house broke, or like in this case, car broke, right?
Car
it's
broke,
like,
It's
like, bro, everyone's trying to flex on everybody, and we're all just losing. We're all
just
the only people winning are the credit card companies getting rich off our interest and shit like that. That's all it is, man. Like it's a loss for all of us.
Yeah, everyone can, like, it's not that big of a flex that you got a $5,000 credit card and then you ran to Holt Renfrew and bought a fucking $1,200 Louis belt that by the time you pay that thing off is going to cost you $2,500. You know what I mean? Like,
and
but you still look fresh in the club.
You fucked it up.
Right? But it's like, as we were saying,
you took home a bottle, girl. Yeah.
You know, that's like we were saying though. It's like, is this legit or not? It's like, who gives a fuck? Did you think it was legit for a second? Bet. I don't need to sit here and explain to you, like, okay, I mean, some people got the knockoff Gucci. It's like, when you're going into that, it's like, okay, like, why even wasting your time? But, like, certain things, it's just like, who gives a shit, man? It looks fresh? Bet.
Exactly. It's about the style. It's not about the authenticity. It's like,
you know,
that's what you want to rep. Look, this is the image you're producing. Perfectly fine, right? Like, nobody needs to check if your ice is real. You know, like,
even then, just don't, at the same time,
right?
just, like, don't even act fraudulent. Like, just don't be fugazi about it. Someone's like, yo, man, like, I've literally worn these out to, like, it was like a Canada Day party at Union Hall, and some dude came up to me. He's like, yo, man, those are sick Bape shorts. I was like, literally, like, yo, dude, I got these off Amazon, bro. These things were like $35, and he just started laughing.
Devastated.
The thing is, he kind of laughed. He's like, I knew. I was like, he's like, good on. Like I was like, I'm not gonna flex like they're real. He's like, I knew they weren't real. He wanted to see what I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
like,
it was-
oh yeah, man, these are bought. I'm like, yeah, dude, I got these off Amazon. He was like, yeah, gave me probably. He's like, all good, dude. I was like,
But
yeah,
it was
man,
just
like,
part of your image that day, right? It was just like that's how you wanted to look that
I was
day,
like, they
right?
look dope,
Yeah,
but they're
exactly.
not real.
But then like
Well,
90% in that room will believe they're real. So like,
Probably.
bet.
Yeah, but even then, I don't ever judge nobody on the real or fake. It's just like,
Yeah.
does it look good together? Is the package
To an
proper,
extent,
True
though,
enough,
if you
yeah.
if you had like a car and you like popped off the logo and you threw a Mercedes logo on there, I'd be like,
Yeah.
kid, bro, what are you doing? Like, that's a little bit much.
What do you mean, bro? You take your Pontiac Fiero and you turn it into a Lamborghini, for 20 grand, and then you
something
drive
like
around.
That, I'd be like,
Right?
because I do understand like what I would never say these are fake, but it does bother me when you see a dude who's in the club and he's
No,
got
it bothers me when
a
they're pretending
diamond
it's real.
fucking
It's when they're like,
Rhinestone.
would be like fucking 70K,
Yeah.
and the guy, you just. It's not even like
Buying
it's not
mixed
even that
drinks.
having a $70,000 chain makes you the shit. Like whatever, consumerism, it is what it is. That's
Yeah.
cool, but like, man, they're like, why
Well,
why
the
are you
thing,
trying to act like it's a real
you're truly,
chain? Like,
if you're
you
truly
know.
wealthy enough to have that type of jewelry, you're not going to the club to flex it.
Exactly.
You
Right
have
there.
way better
Boom.
things to do.
especially in the club
Right
that I'm
there.
in
Yeah.
Edmonton.
Yeah,
Yeah,
facts.
it's like, well, I mean, unless there's hustlers out there that want to portray that
True,
image,
it-
and that's
That's
You gotta
true,
burn
that's
that
actually.
money.
part of that lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
Like, fair for them, but like I said, like if you're truly wealthy enough to be able to buy that and rock it and not have to worry, and it's not like didn't just bankrupt you, then yeah, you're way better things to do than be at the club wearing your chain and
All the
sitting
people
in the
I know
safety
that can
deposit
actually
box.
afford those things always come to the club because there's somebody that's doing something there that brought them there. I'm making this sound shady, but it's not like they know a friend who's performing, so they come, they see their friend, and they leave.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
They walk in 5 minutes. Oh, he's starting at 9:30. Shows there at 9:20. All right, man. Have a good night. All right, dude. I'll see you later, man. Peace, peace, peace. And they walk right out the door.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
back to business.
that motherfucker was drinking water. Like
know?
he didn't spend a dime in here. Had a rollie on, but he didn't spend a dime in here.
You know, it's like the homie was saying he went to a concert or like a little local concert on White Ave, and like he said, there's all these dudes just dressed up like Louis jackets, like chains on chains, Gucci this and that, and like dude kind of brushed by him, and he's like, "Yo, man, like, what are you doing?" And it's like, bro, all that shit's fake. You're at a basic ass club with a bullshit ass performance and bullshit ass promoters. You're obviously wearing fake shit, like trying to flex and act like, bro, this is real Louis. Like, I see the tag on the back. If that is a real Louis shirt, you're bringing that back in a week. Like, come on, you know? Like that shit pisses me off. Like that, you know? But like, if you think the fit's fresh and you're in your zone and you're feeling yourself, do it, handle it.
Exactly.
I remember one time I was at, whatever. The bar's closed now. It was the old bar on Jasper Ave. But level 2? No, it wasn't called level
Lucky
2.
13 or whatever.
No, Lucky was on White.
Rumors?
That was white.
No, what Lucky White was off.
Is that where Grebo was working? The cleanup staff?
No, that was rumors.
Josh
Yeah.
was telling me
Where
about
was
that.
it? Where was it?
You remember Knoxville's?
Are you talking about vinyl?
Oh,
Vinyl above
yeah.
Knoxville's. Thank you,
Got
man.
you.
It was
But
vinyl.
it did have a couple
I
names.
thought
place-
that
though.
was Club 107 or some shit
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Studio 107.
Studio 107.
But that
Yeah.
place was either, in my memory, it was either just busy as fuck or
completely
dead.
dead. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
depend the
Six
floor
people
almost.
there or 600
And it
Yeah.
could be both. You could go in 2 different Friday nights at midnight. It's one or the other.
Yeah,
it's like,
no
why is this-
consistency,
yeah.
zero.
Yeah.
And the weirdest thing is it was 2 floors, so sometimes one floor there'd be like 400 people. You'd go to the
Yeah.
next one, there'd be 8, and you're like, what the fuck?
Or they'd like close off the upper floor
Yeah,
at
they'd
the end.
kick the people
try
down.
to like
yeah.
get them all there. Yeah. It's
But
like,
I
come
remember I
on.
was in that club one time, and I was probably like 20, 18, 19, and some guy walked past me with a Louis Vuitton bag on. And then later I was outside. I didn't even smoke. Maybe I was smoking. I was outside smoking, and he came outside. I'm just a talker. I could talk to anybody. And I was just like, yo, aren't you worried like someone's going to spill a drink on that or whatever? And he was like, hey, man, if I was worried about that, I probably shouldn't have bought the bag. And I was just like, fair enough, bro. But like,
that's
if it
real,
was
dude.
real,
That's-
fair enough. Even if it was not, like, good flex. Like, I was like, touche, motherfucker, touche. Like, if
Yeah.
I'm worried about getting something spilled on it, I shouldn't have bought it. And I was like,
Should
fair
just call
enough.
them up. Like, yo, it's definitely fake.
yeah. Or it's like, yeah, okay, that's
Start
because that was
swinging.
$120. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either or.
But that's very valid though. If you're worried, why spend the money?
Well, exactly. Well, I mean, there's people that just buy it, just have it sit on a shelf, collect it, and then sell it later, hoping it appreciates in value,
Right.
which is fine.
Yeah.
But,
keep dead
like-
stock.
Yeah.
All my Jordans.
But those are not the people wearing it at the club.
All my Jordans.
But I went from like up to here to like down to here, so I think that's more like reasonable.
Well, he likes Jordans. What Jordans you got?
I got these like real nice ones that I'm sitting on, the Space Jam 11s.
Oh, nice.
They reissued them. I won like that Foosh raffle. I was like, yo.
I never win those. I was trying to get the Crimson Red Jordan 4s, didn't win them. I got Jordan 7 Sapphires last year. I got a Jordan 5, some infrareds, just a couple little ones. But I
Like
don't.
infrareds, dude.
Yeah.
Has infrareds.
I'm not planning on purchasing anymore. It's turning into a huge racket anyway. So
Yeah.
Consumerism, man.
That's the thing. And like the quality just gone to the toilet.
Oh,
Like it's fucked.
I got the Sapphires, which are really nice in my opinion, and I didn't check them before I got home, and there was like an obvious scuff on them already, and they're brand new, and I was just like,
Right?
ain't that about a
Yeah,
bitch?
take that L. You already left
Yeah.
the store.
That's what I'm
That's the
saying. Like,
thing.
there's nothing I could do about it, but back in the day, that would never have happened.
Yeah.
So.
100%.
There anything else about your career you'd like to talk to us before we do our usual wrap-up things here?
That's kind of the gist of it. Just stay tuned. Man's cooking up. The album's coming. There might be a little rebrand in the near future. Got some.
Interesting. We'll have to have you back after the rebrand.
Yeah, got some Toronto things on the line. So
Kings.
I wanted to ask
Kings.
you what video editing program you use.
I just switched to DaVinci.
That's what I used to.
So I was on Premiere for the longest time, and like I literally tell people I'd rather take dull scissors and cut my fingers off than use Premiere. Like it is so painful.
Did you pay for the full one, or are you using the free one?
So I got the full one. So like when I was doing the weddings, homie's like, "Yo, I'm gonna buy it, and I'll give you the license."
Oh, nice. Because
That's
yeah,
the best.
some of the features in the free one,
Mhm.
if you try to put them in, you'll hit your inspector, get it all done, and then there'll just be a giant watermark across the whole
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
It says DaVinci results. Like, that's why I got to pay $280
Yeah,
for
and
it.
you can't do like 4K, I think, and you only lose a lot of.
You can make 4K, but it takes 17 hours to render.
Oh, okay. I thought they like prevent 4K. That's why I got it.
Well, we tried to do one of our first videos in 4K, and it was just, and then the upload time to YouTube from my
okay.
computer was astronomical. I think it was an actual fortnight that it was going to take.
Jeez.
Did you build a computer yourself, or did you buy like a pre-assembled computer? I guess.
Well, I had all these parts. I watched a bunch of videos, had all the parts, put it all together. I had a homie kind of like refine it down a bit. And then I went to Memory Express, and they're like, "Hey, we don't have like exactly this shit," because I went on like Newegg or whatever.
Yep.
And they're like, "Hey, we'll do this,
You know what, sorry?
Like Newegg, it's like Newegg.ca is like a computer sources
To
parts.
build it or whatever?
Yeah, you can like compare prices and all that shit. So yeah, I did that, and then just kept like adding to it, taking things out, video cards, more like changing the
Do you know what
motherboard.
you have in there at all? Like, you know what you're running for RAM or video processing card and all that stuff? Your graphics card, I guess.
Yeah, I've got a 2080 Ti NVIDIA. I think it's 32 gigs I'm pushing.
Nice.
Maybe I think I'm 64 now.
Wow, that's a lot of RAM.
And then
Quick rendering, I'm assuming. There's no
Yeah.
lag.
well, that's the thing is like I was like trying to do video effects in Premiere, and like that's its own
Like some
demon, but like
shit?
yeah, it's like but even like 4K video footage is like just to render that. Like I proxy everything, and like it's still like when you're rendering some transitions or some effects, it's like takes time, and I hate like doing something in yours. Like before I like did a bunch of upgrades like last year, I would like do an effect and I'd sit there and just like 20 minutes go by, and then you look at the effect and like, okay, this is garbage. Then you like change this thinking that will fix it, and then like maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work. So then you literally lost like 3 hours just to get that one effect. So I'd tell clients like, I want crazy transitions, and like I want like masking and cutouts and like all these fire videos. It's like, okay, that's just
this
gonna
much
take
extra.
time.
Yeah.
He's like, it only takes you like 2 hours.
$5,000, please.
He's like, it's 2 hours to film it. I'm like, yeah, it's 2 hours to film, but it's like 12 hours to edit it.
Yeah.
At least.
Minimum. And then you want revisions, and it's like, now we're at 24 hours. So it's like, that was what I used to do. I break it down, but okay, so like, to all these revisions and all this bullshit, like, okay, so now we're at like, I'm making like 15 an hour. I was like, this isn't worth it for me, bro. Some of them like, well, I'll pay you more. I was like, no, I need to like move on from this. Like, here's the video, dog. Like, you've changed it from A to C, and like, it's a completely different video because you got inspired on the journey, which is all good, but it's just like,
Inspired on the journey.
we need to like come to consensus where it's like from the beginning. That's why I have the contracts and shit now. So it's like, this is what I want, this is what I need, boom. Anything gets added in, I update that and update the invoice. So it's not like,
Yeah.
It's all written
Yeah.
down.
But that's normal, right? That's normal. I mean, among the creative process, I guess, the artistic process.
yeah.
Things change, right? But that's the thing. If
100%.
you don't have the money to play, you shouldn't be paying for that, right? Like,
Yeah.
Right.
If you want to change the video, you gotta have, as the guys at Gold Teeth say, it better be a green light project. Where I say
Yeah.
something, you go green light, green light,
Yeah.
green light. If you're hitting me with ambers and reds, fuck out of here with that shit.
No, this
Yeah.
is the end of it.
That was a Dow Jones. I gotta get him on the pod one day, but
That's
he's
a
got some of the
classic.
best like
Mm.
Taoisms. And yeah, one of them was just like green light project, man. Like if you want to hit me with a green light project, well, we'll do whatever the fuck you want. But if you're not, then we got to start having a couple discussions here about what do you want, what do you not want, what do you.
The Taoisms seem much wiser than the Rickyisms.
Yeah.
But the Rickyisms are classic.
The Rickyisms
Short
are
circulating in my
Yeah.
brain. Yeah.
You gotta-
Another one of Taoist that I always love is just like someone would come in and be like, "Yo, I want a fucking like 12-inch Cuban link 18 karat gold chain. I want it to be 30 inches long. I want a pendant that's custom only to me. I want it to be flooded out with 30 carats of SI diamonds." And how much is that going to be? And Dow just be like, somewhere around a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I ain't even doing the math, bro.
In my
Somewhere
head, I'm
around
like
a lot.
100
Like,
grand
If you gotta ask
starting.
how much
Yeah,
that's
like,
gonna
you
be, you know,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
the same
that
for
was
you.
my favorite, man. The one day I was working, you just hit someone with somewhere around a lot, and I just burst out laughing. I was like, "Yeah, man, like, somewhere around all of the money." Like,
Yeah. What's your budget? $2,000? Okay, well we're taking
Yeah.
90% of that away.
yeah, you can look at this little crossover.
Yeah, I
here
got a
with
little
this
rope chain. Handle
little
that.
rope chain here.
You know?
Yeah, semi-hollow.
Yeah, there's some pendants that nobody picked up. You want one of these? We'll sell you that. Boom.
You got anything for us there, Zachary?
I just have a would you rather? Would you rather be able to speak to animals, any animal, or 10 foreign languages? And the foreign languages are read, write, speak, fluent at to the top
And the animals
levels.
talk back, I'm assuming.
No, you can only talk to them.
I can do that now.
Okay, then yeah, they talk back.
Like you can communicate with
Yeah,
animals.
Yes, you can
like they
communicate.
understand you.
Yes, yeah.
You understand? So, animals, 100%.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you know how much money those Saudi billionaires would give you to train some exotic animal for them?
Right.
They'd probably be like, "Here's $100 million. Make this kangaroo do backflips for me." It's
Right.
like, what
You're
the
like, "Yo,
fuck?
you gotta tame this lion." You go in there like, "Yo, dude, they're gonna pay me. We gotta work lines like." Nah,
They're gonna give
fuck
you
that
Wagyu
guy.
steak for the rest of your life if you're a good kitty, and,
Yeah.
and the lion would be like, "I'm down."
Nah, fuck that guy. You be like the gangster guy. He's like, "Nah, I ain't doing it, fam." You gotta go back out and be like, "He ain't doing it."
He's
bro."
just all he's all bossed up. He's all like, taken care of and shit. The first thing that came to mind was like, yo, imagine the army of tigers I'd have.
right,
Like game over. Like someone's talking that shit, yo.
right.
Right.
Nah, like,
But
imagine,
all the animals.
imagine you just get some 2 bald eagles or something to come lift
Right.
you up and shit, and just take you somewhere. You have
got a
air taxi
squad.
everywhere.
Dude,
Fucking
anyways,
gorillas coming down the block. Yo, you fucked up.
You guys are assuming that the animals will be compliant to you.
Not
Okay,
all of
yeah.
them, but I'll
That's
make
what I'm
some
saying.
friends.
That's
And
fair.
they're also assuming that the world isn't going to think you guys are witches and burn you at the stake or something.
that's
for
true.
communicating with
Bro.
animals.
Oh, there's more animals than humans out there.
Yeah,
Fuck
but
them.
the animals have to want to. You've seen Planet of the Apes. That didn't go too well for them.
That's true.
I did not see Planet of the Apes,
Well, you
but
should
They might flip him like, yo, fuck you, bro.
Eventually, the ape just kind of figured out like, fuck society. We're better than them.
Yeah. Well,
It's
because they
yeah.
killed Caesar.
Yeah, Caesar.
I know a lot of animals are food.
But wasn't Caesar originally
Food
even going
driven.
back against them, being like, "Yo, fuck these
Well,
guys"?
yeah, they started the revolution. Well, I don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the last one. I've
Can't
only
spoil it
seen-
for me. It's so
The movie
old.
was, like, 15 years old,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a lot, way older
Still.
than that.
The one that's
Well,
like,
we mean the
remake.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
The one
not
that-
the original back in
The one that's like imprinted in my head is when he like goes back in time and he's like at the White House and they all the cops are apes.
Oh yeah.
I don't know which movie that is, but I seen it like when I was super young and that shit just like baked in my memory.
That might be the.
One day
that
I'll
might be
wake
the
up
first
and
one.
just be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think that's the first one when they wake up, and then at the very end of the movie, the guy wakes up and he. That's the twist at the end of the movie is you think that he went to the planet of the apes where it's a planet that's filled with apes, but then he wakes up on a beach and he looks over and you see the Empire State Building, or no, pardon me, the Statue of Liberty has been like crumbled and the woman's face is like all there with the statue and he's like, oh fuck, this was Earth. They came over and took over Earth. Earth is now the planet of the apes. That's the big twist.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
Anyway,
Nice.
you would rather be all fluent and all that shit?
Oh, I don't know. I just think that there's multiple things that could happen one way or the other. The 10-4 language thing would be very cool because you could probably find a way to be very successful at anything just based on communication.
100%. There's a
But-
couple polyglots that have really good YouTube channels and stuff like that.
So
Couple what, pardon?
Polyglot.
People-
That's someone who
people
speaks a
who
lot of
speak
languages.
multiple-
Yeah.
So, and then also with the animals, it would be cool, but I'm cool with not knowing what my cat's thinking because I probably wouldn't like it very much.
Yeah, if
Dick.
Kobe some days
You
is
know what
like,
I'm
"Man,
saying?
Fuck you. I'd be like,
Yeah.
what the fuck did you just say to
Just
me,
like
bitch?
You
this
wanna
shit
eat
on the
tonight?
floor.
Like, yeah.
What the fuck is this?
I don't know.
You have me to thank for everything in your life, you
Yeah.
fuck.
That's what I'm saying. So I think that if you kind of break that wall, it would be kind of shitty, whereas foreign languages could be very
I
useful.
think it'd be kind of like
Just
a
find out
kid,
your
though.
cat's racist as fuck. You're
Yeah.
just like, oh shit.
But your kids give you shit back. But at the end of
This
the
whole
day,
time.
think about all the good things like when you get home, your dog's like, hey buddy, nice to see you. How was work? Like, that'd be
Yeah,
kind of
you know?
dope.
Yeah.
I want to go outside. No, not right now. Oh, not right now, motherfucker. You're like, well, come on, man. I got work to do. It's like,
Which room you want me to shit in then?
yeah.
It's like, fuck.
Yeah, it's cool. Don't worry about. No, it's all good, man. No.
Yeah.
We'll go outside. No, it's fine. I don't even want to go out.
Yeah, your dog starts getting passive
Yeah.
aggressive with
You're like, you're
no,
going.
no, it's cool, it's cool. It's
You know,
cool.
you go through
Just been
drama with
home
your
all day
girl.
by myself.
Yo, quick sidebar.
Like, jeez.
How many people used to come into Gold Tees or into the jewelry store you used to work in? I don't know. if you
Everyone,
know.
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Looking for real jewelry, and then once they figured out they can't afford it, walked out with some costume jewelry. Like, how many motherfuckers realized real quick, I'm way too broke for this shit?
What percentage out of 100?
The percentage isn't very high because the vast majority of people knew what they were. It'd be like any of us, you know what I mean? Like the vast majority of the consumers knew, and lots of them would come in and if someone was busy with another thing, they'd be looking at all the nice shit, the big Rolexes or the big massive diamond chains, and then when Dow or Smoke or whomever's like, "Yo, can I help you?" and they're like, "Oh yeah, but like." We're going over there. Like instantly, they're like, "Yo, like, we're going over there. I'm looking for something.
I'm
for
just
my
here to see what I
girl
would
or
like in
whatever."
the future at some point.
Yeah, there's a couple. Yeah, I'm just here to like look at shit. I'm just
Little
trying to
window
price it out.
watches.
But then that was probably the most rare of just straight up like window shopping.
Yeah,
tire
so it's a
kickers.
very hard store to get into to just window shop.
Yeah, unless you were there with a buddy or whatever, which is cool. If someone your buddy, I go with Nolan. If Nolan's getting a grill made, he's got to be there for 10 minutes. I'm gonna look around. Like,
Yeah,
Of course,
sure.
100%.
But
There
there was
the website too.
yeah, they got the website too, but there was definitely I can think of at least one time where someone came in and they were looking at shit and it was like, well, no, that's a little bit, and then like, you watch them go from case to case to case to case, and then eventually I don't remember which salesman it was in my heart of hearts. I wish I did, but they were like, well, like we got this stuff and like pulled out the fashion shit that we don't even like display. Like this is in the back of the back. We like usually like 16-year-old kids are coming in here and we'll pour this out for them. But like we're not gonna say that to that person. But it's like, yeah, we can grab the other stuff.
This is for you, fam.
And then I'll never forget this shit, man. Because I was doing work and then like eventually I just kind of like put my pen down and just started watching. And he grabbed what would have been like a diamond tennis chain, which is gonna start for like. If you got like a small, like very small diamond, very short chain, and it was like shitty clarity, shitty cut, like the worst diamond necklace, diamond tennis chain you could get's probably gonna be like at least a couple $1,000s. Like, and I'm trying to like lowball like at least $3,000, like minimum, and that's like it's not gonna sit right. The fucking molds are gonna be shit. The whole thing's gonna be shit, but. You pick up the equivalent of that in the fashion jewelry. He's like, okay, yeah, no, this is what I'm talking about. How much is this? And it's like, bro, that's like $75 or something like that. I don't even remember what it was. And he's like, okay, we're talking. I just remember being like, oh my god. I just got back to work. I was like, god damn it.
Man's walking out here with a whole costume jewelry case,
Right.
Straight
and all of a
up,
sudden
man.
goes from 0 chains to 10
Bracelets.
chains.
Yeah, he's like, you know what I
Rings.
spent on all this? Fuck. He's in the club tonight for sure and getting at least a bottle.
No. Those are the guys in the club that go and buy a bottle of fucking. No, this is crazy.
Put it in the car and drink it in the alley.
No, these are the. No. Yeah, they'll have a couple shots before
Yeah.
they get there, but they'll go and they'll buy one Heineken because the Heineken bottle's green, so you can't really tell what color the liquid in the Heineken bottle is. So they'll buy one Heineken and they'll go to the bathroom and fill it with water for the rest of the night, and they'll just sit there and have one beer for the whole night. But you
Jeez.
think that they're drinking. Greasy.
Never even heard of that.
Like, bro, if you got a flex like that, you got problems.
Yeah, you gotta stay at home.
When Josh told me that that's what they did, like in the bars and shit, I was like, yo, for real? People do that? And he was like, bro, like we've had to tell the guy in the bathroom, like, yo, if you see them do that more than one time, like we'll just kick them out. Like, fuck these guys. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's so fucking brutal now.
Jeez, that's you gotta tip that guy so he doesn't say shit. Give
Yeah,
him $20
you gotta,
a piece of gum and be like, yo,
you gotta
gotta
grease
fill
that
this
wheel,
up
yeah.
quick,
I'll
dog.
just go spend $20 on another 2 or 3 beers and call
Yeah.
it a day. Like,
I guess, hey, why do you want to do
But
that?
I mean, there's the other flex of it too, because you never really know, like, is this like the people that don't drink but then don't want the social stigma of being like sober and things like that, which I always think is kind of a weird like paranoid thing, but whatever.
Yeah.
I've never
We're all
been
addicts.
I've never wanted to be sober in places. I either want to drink or I don't really care.
Yeah.
But people have told me that like they used to be alcoholics, whatever. But if they'll go out to like a Christmas party, they'll go right up to the bartender and say, "Hey, I don't drink. When I come up, I'll act like it's a regular thing. Just get me Sprite with a fucking lemon in it, or vodka or soda water with a touch of cran. Just make it look like I'm drinking." So then if you do that at the bar, it's like, well, is this person just an alcoholic that just wants to like look like they're having fun, or is like, where's this guy a fucking predator that's fucking saying they're drinking and they're not drinking? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm wasted. Let's go to my place.
Right?
But like, you don't even have to make it that awkward at the bar. You're just like, I'm the DD. Can I just have a Coke? And they give it to you for free.
Yeah,
like, because you're the
true.
DD. Like, at least back in the day, I don't fucking know if anything's free. In
No,
the bar
that still
anymore
happens.
nowadays.
I was at, I can't remember, but it was within the last like month or two, and I think I got like a small bite to eat. And I was just drinking iced tea because I didn't really want to drink. And then at the end of the night, I went to pay my bill, and the dude was like, "Yeah, man, I think I got like an appy or something." He's like, "Yeah, don't worry about it." And I was like, "For what?" He's like, "Well, aren't you the DD?" I was like, "No, dude, I just didn't feel like drinking." He's like, "Oh, okay, well, $8.50 or whatever." I was like, "Oh, fuck. I should have shut the fuck up." But yeah, if I was the DD, he was gonna give me the appy and the iced tea. He was just like, "Yeah, man, you're cool. Make sure these people get home safe." And I was like,
Oh, damn.
"I'm not
Even
driving
the
any of
appy-
these people. Like, I'm leaving. Like, the fuck."
Even the appy, like they'll make 2 more of those quick.
Right. It's funny that you said that, though. I think I've brought it up on the podcast before, but like the acting all fucked up thing. There's this movie that I watched. It's got to be like a month ago, and I think it was based on a true story, but I shouldn't even say that because I'm not 100% true, 100% sure. But it was about this girl that would like purposely get fucked up at bars, but like not get fucked up. Just like act like she was getting fucked up to see if dudes would take her home or not, or like be the better guy. And then like, the whole movie, all these guys are like, "Oh yeah, I'll walk you home." And "Oh, I actually just live right here. You want to come in for a drink?" And she'd be like, "Oh yeah. And then she'd get up there and like instantly sober up and be like, "What's up, Nolan? Do you even remember my name?" And like just fuck with all these guys and like end up fucking, I can't remember. She ended up fucking him around. But the whole moral of the story was that her best friend in college had been like drunk at a party and sexually abused or whatever, and then she killed herself. So then she was gonna like get revenge on all the people that like didn't do anything about it and blah blah blah.
Surprised it didn't turn into like a serial killer plot where she just kills the fuckers and that try to like take advantage of her when she takes them
Right.
home. Like,
Straight up.
some
Pretty
Dexter
sure-
shit.
Pretty sure it was pretty close to that. I'm pretty sure she was gonna
It does
murder
sound
like 2 or
familiar.
3 of the people, and then like 1 or 2 of the people she was just gonna like ruin their lives.
That's just normal
fuck
women
it.
shit. That's classic.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
still
stuff.
living.
That's
Well,
wild.
I remember Alison Breeze in the movie, and I remember her
Ooh,
character.
Of course, that's why you watched this.
Yeah.
I remember her character. She
Classic.
was like, back in college, she could have done something about it. She could have said, "Oh yeah, this did happen." Or she was complicit somehow.
She felt guilty somewhat. from
So then
something.
how this girl was going to get her back is she took her out for a lunch and got her like super fucking hammered. And then there was a dude at the bar and she just went up and said, "Yeah, the hotel room's like 305." But then the guy was in on it. So the guy like, he just literally went up there and didn't do anything. Just waited all night and then left. But left enough so that girl knew like, "Yo, I'm a married woman. I just spent a night with a guy."
Just to fuck.
So
with
then
her.
she's phoning, "Yo, who was the guy? Who was this?" And then
Yeah.
she just ghosts her. So she doesn't know who this guy is, who she slept with, da-da-da. And then when she eventually picks up the phone, it's like, "Well, you were drunk. Maybe you were asking for it." Hits her with all the shit she had hit her friend with 20 years ago,
Oh, she's trying to like guilt trip her or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a decent movie, but
Karma's
the
bitch.
end was actually pretty fucked up. I remember the ending now. It was
Is it called Spin Me Round?
no,
Is it called Somebody I Used to Know?
possibly.
Okay.
Did you just type in Alison Breeze?
Yeah, I just
Videography?
filmography. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea, man. I don't really remember.
All right.
Somebody that I used to know?
Yeah, Somebody I Used to Know is an American romantic comedy film.
No.
No.
Hold on, you guys talk for a second. I'll get it. I'll
At the
get
end,
it. You
she
guys
found
talk.
love
Dan, talk for a second.
in a bottle.
Oh man, you know what? About me talking, I'll be talking bullshit.
Oh.
What's going on,
What's the
Nolan? How
best
you been,
shit?
man? I haven't seen you in a minute. How was the flights? How was Montreal? How was everything?
It was good, man. Fucking, this one dude was like sick, so we all kind of slowly got sick. So like the last couple of days, I was like just out of it, but we still like got a bunch of footage and did a bunch of shit, explored a bunch of shit.
What exactly were you there for? Was it just like for music reasons, or was it for filming reasons?
So I was there with like this collective I'm like now working with, and like
Nice.
he's like turning his girlfriend into this artist.
Yeah.
So we were just getting a bunch of footage that we're gonna use for like visualizers and music videos and just promo content. So once she starts
Nice.
unrolling all her music, and then we just did some like, I just want to get some BTS of just kind of like all the different vibes. So I have all that, and just like
Yep.
It was more just like an icebreaker for all of us
Nice.
to see where we all kind of mesh and if it works. And then we're gonna kind of scale this up and get like, instead of it like every collective I've been in is like me do the photo, the video, the mixing, the beats, the this,
Yeah,
the that, the
this is actual gonna be like.
Yeah, like there's a
This is
photographer.
real artists that are really into this project that want to all participate and stuff.
Exactly. So and it's
Good.
like there's actual producer, an actual engineer, actual videographer.
See, and
so
it's hard to find that stuff in Edmonton. Like if you want to go with somewhere, you got to go somewhere artistic. You got to go to either Vancouver, Toronto,
Right.
Montreal. Like you got to go to one of those places to really be part of that, because that's people that move there or like stay there are really into it. You know, like I know a homie that's from here. He went to Vancouver for a couple of years. Now he's been out in Montreal or in Toronto for a couple of years, but he goes out to Montreal all the time. He's a photographer. Like he shoots for Off-White and stuff like that, and he's part of a collective out there that throw a couple shows, have a couple artists, and maybe I'll have to send you his link. And
yeah,
try to
definitely.
put
Is
you
that the
in
guy who's
touch.
like a DJ?
No, he was just a
it's a different
photographer.
guy.
Like
Okay.
yeah. Like this guy's chill. He's like I said, he shot for like Off-White and stuff like that.
That'd be sick. Yeah, like the people we all came from Edmonton, like, and we all went to Montreal.
Yeah.
So Montreal is more just kind of like being isolated in that environment. And there was like some networking events. Like there's studios we went to, this Serotonin studio, and they had like this SoCan event.
Yeah.
But they like moved. Like the event was like I left on Wednesday. The event was on Monday, and then it got moved to Tuesday, and then it got moved to Thursday. And I was like, and it actually went down on
Artists.
Thursday.
Yeah.
And it looked like a sick ass event. There was so many dope artists, and like, but I was like, whatever. I still networked how I could and just like explored the city. And
Montreal's
just,
a
like-
sick city, right? So
Yeah.
much like.
I didn't
just
hit
the vibe.
Schwartz, so I was lacking.
Did you get any
you
other
gotta go to
food? Any of the
Schwartz.
specialty
I
stuff
had this
there?
place. It was like just doner or
Promising young
something.
woman.
And
That
it was like
the name
it was
of
like a pita like folded in half, like or cut in half, and all the doner meat was stuffed inside, and then like the top was folded.
Yeah.
This shit was busting. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, instead of like wrapping it in doner, they like slice it open and put it
Yeah.
on the inside. Yeah.
See, that's in Germany. It's called like a kebab. Like that's what we call like a doner
they call
kebab
them
in Germany.
gyros, Gyro.
No, that's the Greeks, but like the Turks have like the Turkish people. They have the kebabs, and so like that's what that is. It's just like it's like a pita essentially cut in half, and it's just stuffed full of stuff. And
so good.
yeah, it's delicious, man.
It was like nice and toasted. It wasn't kind of like a soggy doner wrap. Like,
yeah,
so I hit a couple eats up. That's obviously my main shit every time. It's like, okay, where are the eats at?
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Like,
fuck
I want to see the experiences, but like, where's the food?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and it's like it's weird traveling to other places because you want to see the food and you want to see the place, but you want to see like you have to ask people and shit or like do a little bit
Yeah.
of research. It's like I don't want to just like unless you. When we were in Montreal, we randomly stumbled upon this place, and I was like, "Man, we need to come back here. This place looks cool." And then Josh found like and yet again, the whole thing I'm about to say is an oxymoron because he Googled speakeasy, which that should not happen. But then we went back, and it was the same place. And like we went up to the door and we knocked on it, and then like my one buddy, like the people that were in front of us just went through, but there was one of those like sliding vision hatches on the door. So I knocked on the door. And my buddy's like, "Don't you want to go through?" And I was like, "Nah, bro. I want the whole experience. Like, fuck it. If I'm going to a fucking thing with a sliding door, I want somebody to answer the door with the fucking sliding door."
Right.
And it's just shit like that when you go to places. But sometimes you just end up eating at McDonald's, and it's like, well, fuck. I don't want to eat at McDonald's in fucking
Right.
Montreal.
Well, like if you're gonna get a McDonald's, you gotta do it like somewhere around the world, like somewhere that's completely different. Like
Yeah,
you're hitting an
different
Asian
menu.
McDonald's or an African McDonald's and see like
Right.
what do they have here that we don't have at
Yeah.
home,
With
right?
spices on the chicken and shit.
Yeah, but if you're staying in the same country, it's like fuck, it's the same shit.
Yeah, because
Right.
German McDonald's was lit. I remember that.
Get a nice beer and
I didn't, because I'm not even a big beer guy, but some of my friends did. And I remember, like, it was literally on tap. Like,
Yeah.
they had Heineken, like, the Pops and Heineken. Just right there, which was sick. But I remember I got just, like, a McChicken or whatever. But the bread actually had, like, that little slit in the middle, like, when you're baking bread and it
real
opens.
bun,
I was
like,
like, holy
yeah.
fuck, this is a real, like, Kaiser bun. And then I bit the chicken, and it actually, like, threaded apart like a chicken breast. I was like, holy fuck, this is a real chicken breast. Like, we must have looked so stupid to the German people. They're like, "Za, it's a fucking burger."
Is this your order?
Like, well, fuck.
That's the thing. Like, I looked up so many Google restaurants, and all of them are just like, oh, this is the one, and they're like super expensive, and it's just like, come on.
well, that's the thing. Those are all tour. That's the thing. You can't Google nothing because
That's
paid.
the
Right?
thing,
It's
yeah.
all
It's all paid. They pay to
tourist-based,
be on the
yeah.
top, right?
So have you heard about ChatGPT?
yeah, of course.
So, sorry, I know you guys have heard about ChatGPT. Have you heard about how ChatGPT is allegedly worrying the fuck out of Google because they're going to like replace their search engine. Apparently now people aren't going to Google to be like, what's the best hotel in Miami? Because there's ads, there's people that have paid to be there. It's not an on. They'll go to Chat GPT and say, hey, if you were me and you describe and you were going to stay in Miami, what is the best hotel you could stay at? And they'll be like, this one, with no bias. And it's like, man,
that's the thing.
that's fucked up.
But that's how it should be. That's what Google used to be like, right? It was just search
Literally.
results based on how many people were clicking on that link, right? It's nowadays, like I said, it's all just
The
paid
first 2 or
services
3
and
are
AdWords
all
and
ads,
shit.
dude. You have to scroll. Like, I even have to tell my parents now, like, yo, if you Google something, click on the 4th one. And they're like, well, isn't that the 4th best? I'm like, you would think, but it's not.
Because it's like ad, kind of an ad, but not an ad. And then it's like an actual real
Yeah, real
result.
listing.
But they still paid to be
Yeah,
number one.
still-
with
yeah,
the
they
real
still put
fucking
the
results.
money
And
in.
who can
It's crazy.
optimize the SEOs,
Yeah,
and who can
exactly.
pay their. It's like, this is fucked.
And that was the thing. We went to all these places at the end in Old Montreal, and Old Montreal was like fine dining, like expensive shit.
Yeah.
And all these motherfuckers are closed on Monday and Tuesday. I'm like, come on, bro. They work like Wednesday to Sunday.
Yeah.
And then-
it's more traditional. That's like you'll find that a lot more in Europe and stuff like that too. It's kind of whack, but it makes sense. People, why should these people work if it's truly like a family restaurant and stuff like that? Why should they work 7 days a week?
Yeah,
Work 5
they need days
The
off
weekend is a
too.
busy
Yeah,
time,
That's
so
when you come
Monday,
Sunday,
Tuesday,
Saturday.
yeah. I can't take off Saturday and Sunday. I have to take off Tuesday,
yeah.
Wednesday, or whatever the fuck.
It's just we're not used to that with our American capitalism.
Did you go to a strip club out there?
24/7
No, I heard
stores.
about that later. But I was gonna say to wrap that last one up was like, so we go to this, we look for spots, we try this pizza place. It was like $36 for like a 10-inch, 14-inch pizza. I was like, come on, like we could split this, but this isn't even worth it. So we like find this one place, the same burger or whatever, and I'm gonna name drop because fuck these guys. We pull up, it was a vibe and everything. We walk in, there's like 2 people eating, and there's like some like kind of ghetto ass menu, whatever we're looking at. They're like, oh, we're closed. We're like, what do you mean? It's only like $4.50. Like, yeah, we're closed. I was like, okay, I guess. So we leave. I look up on Google. They close at 6. I was like, fuck you guys. So we went to A&W, and I was like devastated, bro, because like I get my food, and I'm just like, fuck. I go downstairs, like this sketchy ass basement bathroom. Someone's in the bathroom. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm waiting. I'm like, all right, dude comes out. Dude just destroyed this bathroom. I'm like, yo, don't you guys have some like sense of fucking respect, like, bro? And then he like comes up. Then I'm like, I go take a piss, dip real quick, and then go upstairs. And dude's all in his outfit, ready for work, all happy and shit. I'm like, fuck you, bro. Like, go to the employee bathroom, you know? Come on.
I was gonna say, what do you want the guy to do? He had to take his shit before work, but yeah, I guess he could have used
You
the
know,
employee
like, come
bathroom.
on. He destroyed this place. Like, this was next level. Like,
Or
and you
shit
could
at
tell.
home, bro. Why,
You know?
like, if
The
you have a
employee
shit like
bathroom was
that,
too
you wanna
close
be
to the kitchen,
comfortable,
bro.
like-
right in his face when he walked out, I was just like,
He knew.
But he
motherfucker.
give you the grin, or was he embarrassed?
Then he
He's
immediately
embarrassed.
makes your burger. Following that, he's the one making your burger after.
Right?
It'd be fucking gross.
Think
Well,
of they,
the problem is someone does that, and then you follow in just to take a quick piss, and then you walk out, and the next person walks in and gives you the dirty look. It's like,
yeah,
bro,
you know, I would be
wasn't
straight up
even
and be
me,
like, yo,
man.
it wasn't me, bro. You know, it's the guy's about to cook your food, so hopefully you ordered, dog.
If we wash his fucking hands, dog.
You know?
like,
But yeah,
shit.
homie told me later about the strip clubs that it's like, it's almost like an insult not to like touch them.
Yeah.
And I'm
I
like,
mean, I wouldn't have said that, but yeah,
Huh?
kinda.
not on like a perv level, but
No,
like,
no,
you know,
but
he said it's like the sensual experience
It's
of it all, like,
it's different for
Well,
sure,
that's their
man.
Like,
job. They
damn.
take their job seriously, you know? Like,
right? That's
shit.
it's your job. Yeah, it's not just like here's a little dance. You can go to Google and search that shit up.
Yeah, no, they're
Oh,
looking-
dude.
people that are in the top end strip clubs
You
are,
don't like
top
throw
end.
money
Yeah.
at them. You take your. There's no coins.
You pay at the entrance all the.
No, yeah, you pay a entrance to get
Yeah.
in. But if you have like a 5, a 10, or a 20 or whatever, and like, dude, I actually like, I was so shocked the first few times I did this. I watched it, sorry, and then when you do it, you're like, should I be doing this right now? Like this, like, you'll take the bill of whatever it is, 5, 10, whatever, and you'll like lay down on the stage and like put the bill on your mouth or on your fucking crotch or whatever. She'll literally like drop onto you, like rub her tits in your face and like pick the bill up with her lips or with her tits or whatever. Not those ones.
Homie told me a story that she actually picked it up with those lips,
Okay, I didn't see
and
that.
I was like, oh,
Maybe it was
I didn't
maybe it
see
was
that.
100 or something like that.
Maybe it was a
Yeah,
hundo,
it might have
yeah.
been 100.
When I went and got a lap dance, I'm on a bachelor party. I'm go get a lap dance, whatever. I'll never forget this, man. I was like, this shit scared me, dude. I was like, whoa. Like, I was like intimidated. She was like, "Okay, You can touch me all you want, just no penetration. I was like, yo, what? like, I'm from Alberta. We're supposed to sit like this and do absolutely nothing. So what did you just say to me? And she was pretty much like, yeah, like if you want to like grab my ass or grab my tits, like it's cool. I was like, all right, right on.
That's an experience right there.
Yeah.
So I pulled the sweatpants in the strip club once, and because we were in Calgary doing work, and I met this one girl, whatever. She was too fun, and she's like, I'm gonna be in Edmonton. I was like, okay, bet. So I come back. She's in Edmonton. I come with. She's like, wear the sweatpants. I wear the sweatpants.
She told you to wear sweatpants.
She told me to wear them, and then like I walk in and dude's just like, oh, I don't know about that outfit. I was like, yo, the stripper literally told me to wear sweatpants. He's like, okay, I'll let it go. And then I was like, hey, let's go. And I was like, because the first time I didn't, I was wearing like work pants or whatever, and I was like, okay, this is a different experience now. But you go to Montreal, like that's a way different experience.
Yeah, dude, it's a different experience.
So I gotta level up next time I hit there.
My buddy though, he fucked up. He fell in love with the stripper.
Who's that?
The guy who we went there to celebrate his.
Oh no.
I don't want to even.
Yeah.
Yeah, him.
I could low-key feel like that's who you're gonna say, but I was like, nah, nah, you can't do that, bro.
No, he fell in love with one man. Shot so like just dropped so much of the wad that day, right then and there. He watches these sometimes too, so that's really I don't want to say his name.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Shout out the classic story of the bus with the candy.
Yeah, that's
Yo,
the
that
character,
one's baked in the mind. That's a classic.
We were in junior high. Former guest Josh, the guy that I'm speaking about, and myself, and we had this terrible habit that sometimes we'd stop at 7-Eleven and get 5-cent candy on the way to school. And those old, they're not even a thing anymore, but old Edmonton buses used to be one flat fucking level. And he was standing like all the way at the back, and this bus driver must have got cut off viciously because he slammed on the brakes. And I was in the part where you had taken 2 steps down, and I remember like slamming into the railing. I looked up at Josh and I was like, holy fuck. And then we both looked at where I was about to say his name, where our buddy was, and he had like fallen on his back, but his backpack had not made it so he could like roll, so he literally slid the whole way down the fucking boom all the way to the front of the bus. So like the driver looked over and looked right at him sitting on his ass. Yeah, it was funny as fuck.
Candy and shit everywhere.
Candy everywhere, like 8 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
That's a good coffee.
It's been another episode of 7 Days Makes 1 Week. That's Nolan. Zach's over there. Dan's over there.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe.